Good afternoon, YouTube. Just wanted to do another video of an install of a hitch that I got for my '04 Dodge Dakota. And I've already done a few things here, and I'll just kind of show you what I've done instead of just talking about it. So I'm gonna flip the camera. And here's the hitch. It's a class 3 Kurt hitch. I've already got the oxyacetylene out because I had to heat up the bolts in order to get the nuts off. So the first step is to get the bolts out and get the old brackets off. So there's the bolts there, heated them up, and they came out of that location there. And then I got to take that one out too. This was a 22 millimeter on the nut and on the bolt side, the head of the bolt side. And then this one is a 17 millimeter nut. I'm not sure what's on the top. Probably going to be the same. But over on the other side here, there's another one there that needs to come out. And then another 17. So just be careful when you're in here doing the heating things up that you don't overheat the tire or heat up the tire. So at this point, I'm ready to take off these nuts here. So as soon as I get that done, I'll be right back. All right, so I got one side off, and it's actually a carriage bolt, so you don't need a wrench on the top. So all you gotta do is just get your nut on the, or socket on the nut. And this side's gonna be a little bit of a feisty bugger, so I'm gonna get a hammer. We're gonna pound this thing on here. Maybe. Maybe not. I think we need another socket. I'm gonna go the next size up to an 18. And like a glove. All right. So just make sure you hold the bracket. It's gonna get loud. And then if you have that problem like I just did, where the carriage bolt spins inside the frame, we are gonna have to take different measures. So we're actually gonna have to heat this thing up and cut it out. So I'll be right back. So we're heating this up right now. If you don't have a torch, next best thing is a Sawzall or a cutoff wheel or something. So yikes. Mind the stuff there. Should be able to just beat it off now. Hit the nut off. Maybe not. Okay, got it out. So, yay. There's the old remnant. It's a messy process. So, if you're thinking you're going to do this on an '04 Dodge Dakota and the rust belt, yeah, probably not going to happen. You're gonna need a torch, cut-off tools, and all sorts of other fun equipment. So back at you in a minute. Okay, so I just took a wire wheel, cleaned up the mounting points to this thing, and let me get this light over here. Once again, this is a, oops, sorry about the bad videoing. I think my 4-year-old son was doing this. So if you look up in there, you can see how nasty the rust is. And this is upstate New York. And yeah, especially on a Dodge Dakota, it's ugly everywhere. I mean, you just don't get good stuff up here. So moral of the story is, don't move to upstate New York or the Rust Belt. And if you do, you're prepared to replace brakes every year. Deal with rusting panels on your car within years. So I moved up here 5 years ago, and it was 2015, I guess 6 years, but 5.5. So I had a Jeep Liberty, an 03 Jeep Liberty, or have, and it was not rusty or anything. And now the thing is starting to rust out. All the panels under the doors, the back glass, it's got a big hole in it now too. So anyway, enough of that. We're gonna mount a hitch, so be right back. Just an FYI on the large bolts that I took out nuts, that was a 24 millimeter. And then you gotta dismount these. They're up there holding up the bumper bracket, oops. And there's another on the other side. They're both a 19. So pop your wrench on one side and your socket on the other. And I have pneumatic tools, so that helps tremendously. Of course, the 19 isn't fitting on there, so that makes me look real intelligent. Let's see. Nope. That was a lie. We're gonna try a 20. So here we go. It fits a little bit better, but not superb. I'll be right back. Well, that one was the easiest bolt in history with the pneumatic. I'll put that there. Go to the other side and remove that one. All right. And that's all she wrote. These bolts actually look fairly new. You still have the pretty brass coloration on them. You can see that. So New York hasn't quite gotten to that one yet. All right, now I think we're ready for mounting. So we got a space there, and hopefully everything fits on there. I might grind that down or wire wheel it down first. Yeah, I think we're gonna. So give me a minute. You know, for a class 3 hitch, the way this frame looks, how thin it is, you know, we'll pull 8,000 pounds just doesn't seem right. I mean, I say that exaggerating. 8,000 pounds is the max. I would never be pulling 8,000 pounds in this truck. But nevertheless, it seems a little out of place. But all right, we're going to try to put this this hitch on now, and this should be fun by myself. So here we go. Perfect. something is bent. Yeah, something's not right here. You may be wondering why I'm doing this by hand, because trying to put a jack under here is going to be a pain in the neck, and I don't feel like doing it. So part of the issue is the frame is sticking out here, so I'm going to have to beat on that, get it right. Perfect. Oh, and when you do that in New York, expect parts to fall off and break on you. Didn't on this, fortunately. But this truck only has 118,000 miles on it. But like I said, winters are worse for wear on these things. So, all right, see, that helped. Just beat it a little bit and it'll go on. Except for something is not right here. Oh, perfect. My hitch was bent in shipping. Oh my goodness. Check this out. So, custom bent. Thank you, FedEx or UPS or whoever it was that brought that to me compromised. Well, I'm not going to send it back, so I'm just going to bend it back. So, no, I'll be right back. And you made it in a vise. I put it in the vise and it just bent back pretty easy. So that's kind of scares me too, because hauling a car on this thing, I mean, it doesn't really look like it's meant to haul that much, but that's what they say. Life goes on. So, all right, now we're going to mount it up. Sorry about the angle, guys. I'm just recording from my phone, and I don't have any better record. Guys or gals, I should say. All right. This is always the case with these things. You never get to put them in like perfect unless you got a brand new car and everything's just perfect, and you know, the shipping companies are just perfect and they ship your stuff to you just perfect. Go. Let's see what else can be in the way. All right. You got a bolt up in here. You got a washer. You got a nut on it. Did I have washers? Nope. Alright, I'm gonna stick a knee there. And sometimes you just gotta improvise and make things work. I've learned that, you know, they say work smarter, not harder. I say work smarter and harder. Don't be lazy. Nobody likes a lazy person. So put some effort into life. Put some effort into what you do. In fact, the Bible says, "And everything your hand finds to do it with all your might." And that's my philosophy. Whatever your hand finds to do it with all your might. And I'm not saying that in respect to drugs, alcohol, you know, food, because there's a lot of bad things out there that won't do you very good. So my advice is steer clear of the bad stuff and throw out the injunction that says everything in moderation. Because I say, is it okay to smoke meth in moderation? Or whatever, however you take meth. So, all right, she's on. I just gotta get the top bolts. Let me get a better picture here for you. All right, so there it is. So these things have little brackets on them, and you got to put those on the top because that's what holds the carriage bolt. So once you get it up in there, and as you saw, I could do this by myself holding it up. It's not overly heavy, but obviously if you're gonna struggle with it for an hour, it's gonna be really heavy after an hour. So get it done quick, efficiently. Put your brackets or your spacers in and bolt it up. And then these bolts go up through this little farganard, if it'll up into that thing where we just took out of the bumper, or for the bumper. And give me a second and I'll be right back. Note, when attaching this upper bolt, you're gonna wanna have this one or one of these tighten up so it snugs up, because it won't line up with the hole up there. So you need it to line up with that hole in order to get it in. So I'm tightening this up and then I'll come right back.